Ozone turned Delhi into gas chamber. Only a few hours of exposure to high levels of O3 can trigger severe asthma attacks and other health problems. O3 is created due to chemical reactions between NOx, VOC and CO in the presence of sunlight and heat. This summer, the safe standard was violated on 64% of days during April and May as opposed to 50% of days in the same period last year. New Delhi, the summer sky may not look smoggy but the air continues to be extremely polluted. An analysis by the Center for Science and Environment, CSE, in the run-up to the World Environment Day shows there was significant ozone, O3, build-up this summer, April and May. In fact, the number of days in April and May 2017 violating the 8-hour O3 standard is higher this year compared to the previous year. This summer, the safe standard was violated on 64% of days during April and May as opposed to 50% of days in the same period last year. This year, 8% of the days were in very poor category, up to 4.2 times the safe standard, as opposed to 4% during the time in 2016. However, 2016 had a higher share of poor category days. In a statement released on Saturday, CSE has red-flagged this trend because O3 is a highly hazardous gas. Only a few hours of exposure to high levels of O3 can trigger severe asthma attacks and other health problems. It is particularly harmful for outdoor activities. It can have immediate health impact especially among those who are already suffering from respiratory and asthmatic problems even for short-duration exposure, CSE researchers said. Quoting a study by the University of Southern California reported in Lancet, which found that in high ozone areas the relative risk of developing asthma in children playing 3 or more sports was more compared to children playing no sports, researchers said ozone worsens symptoms of asthma, leads to lung function impairment and damages lung tissues. Chest pain, coughing, nausea, headaches and chest congestion are common symptoms. It can even worsen heart disease, bronchitis and emphysema. Researchers recommended Delhi and NCR implement a long-term action plan that addresses each source of pollution as directed by the Supreme Court recently. They also suggested timely implementation of BSV standards, discouraging diesel vehicles and scaling up public transport rapidly. O3 is created due to chemical reactions between oxides of nitrogen, NOx, volatile organic compounds, VOC, and carbon monoxide, CO, in the presence of sunlight and heat. Sources of NOx and VOC are usually industrial facilities, motor vehicle exhausts, power plants and others. CSE also analyzed how with the increase in temperature in Delhi, O3 levels peaked. Due to higher temperature and solar radiation, O3 concentration has also increased. For example, in April 2017, as the temperature increased from 27 degrees Celsius on April 9 to 32 degrees on April 14, the daytime ozone levels increased by 134%. Rising from 90 to 211 microgram per cubic meter. In May when the temperature rose from 32 degrees on May 3 to 36 degrees on May 8, the daytime ozone concentration increased by 130%, spiking from 100 to 230 microgram per cubic meter, the analysis said. An area-wise assessment revealed O3 breached the safe standard in 83% of days in April and 100% of days in May at Arkapuram. Punjabi Bay recorded the highest 8-hour average concentration at 416 micrograms per cubic meters. O3 levels violated the safe standard on 78% of days in April at Punjabi Bay, but data for May was unavailable. At Anand Vihar, which is a transport hub, O3 exceeded the standard on 17% of days in April and 68% of days in May. While O3 monitoring in other Indian cities is sparse, O3 is included in the daily smog and health alert programs in countries such as Mexico, the US, China among others. Click here to watch the video. Thanks for listening. Do like, share and subscribe for more daily updates.